waters. The EPA claimed that because water from the mud puddle seeped into the earth and reached the water table, and the water table reached the stream, which reached a river, which reached the ocean. Therefore, the mud puddle was connected to navigable waters. Therefore, the EPA could regulate it. And what did the farmer want to do with the mud puddle? Get rid of it and plant some corn there. And the EPA said no. I mean, you can't make this up. This is as bad as the central planning that occurred in the Soviet Union under Stalin, which resulted in the death by starvation of 30 million people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Not that part of it, but it's a communist state.
Yes.
And that's what they're doing. And, you were talking before about, the IRS, the study that just came out, they're showing that they only go after the little people. The facts are there. They don't go after the big people. Big people know how to beat them. And what are they coming out? Another $80 billion of our money going to more IRS so they can steal more of our money to give to the politicians and the bureaucrats who never work a day in their lives.
Right.
All they do is suck off the public tit. And now, of course, the Republican, the Congress voted, to strike down that $80 billion, but, it won't go anywhere because the Senate is not going to approve it, and neither will the administration. So all we become are, plantation workers, as I say, of Slavelandia. You have this thing here. Either our rights are inalienable or they are not. If they are not, freedom is an illusion. If they are inalienable, the government must leave our freedoms alone.
That's pretty basic. If I say so myself, it could have been said by Jefferson or Madison, but it is not the law of the land today. They all take the same oath that I took, which reflects the inalienability of human rights, right from the Declaration of Independence. Our rights come from our humanity. But once they get into office, they believe that rights are a spigot, and the government can open the spigot and let rights flow in good times and close the spigot in bad times. I mean, one of the reasons that the FBI and the DEA and the DHS have become weaponized is because of the Patriot Act, because George W. Bush and the Republicans and many Democrats after 9/11 didn't believe in the Fourth Amendment, and they let one FBI agent authorize another FBI agent to engage in a search without involving a judge. This created a generation. This is 21 years ago, Gerald. A generation of federal agents have come of age believing that they can spy first and worry about the Fourth Amendment later, because they don't believe, this is getting back to your question, they don't believe that our rights are inalienable. They don't believe that they're regulated by the Fourth Amendment, even though they took an oath to both of those principles of law. A whole generation of FBI agents, which now includes FBI leadership, has this George W. Bush generated mindset that safety is more paramount than liberty. Guess what? When you have that view, you end up with neither. You end up with no safety, because who's going to keep us safe from the government? And you end up with no liberty, because the government is openly assaulting liberty.
Well, you say it. The government is a negation of liberty.
That's what government is.
Yeah. And to call it a Patriot Act, Orwell couldn't have come up with a better name.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
Not patriot at all. It should be called the Anti-Patriot Act, because it's robbed us of more and more of our freedoms. And it's really terrible what's going on. And Judge, I think this is going to get a lot worse if people don't do something to change this. And as you know, we need a new third party. And
the two parties are not going to do it. They're not going to make it. They are each wings of one party, the big government party. It has I'll look to my left. It has a Democrat wing that likes taxes and war and redistribution of wealth to persons. It has a Republican wing that likes deficits and war and redistribution of wealth to the rich and to corporations. And they both write whatever laws they can so that they will stay in power.
That's it. And again, we need term limits. We need a new third party. And you know, the third party that I'm looking for is RFK Jr. for president and Judge Andrew Napolitano for vice president. If we don't change this, we're finished. And again, this war is heating up in Ukraine, and it's only going to get much, much worse as the United States and NATO keep ramping it up. And World War III has already begun. It's not going to become official until there's a false flag event that's going to be a major event and or a nuclear exchange. And very concerned about the future because they're robbing it from us. And Judge Andrew Napolitano has really said it very, very clearly that freedom is the default position. Government is the negation of liberty. The sovereignty of the person, made in the image and likeness of the Creator, can never be equal morally and legally to the gaggle of thugs running an artificial monopoly of power in a geographic area. And that's what we have. We have a gaggle of thugs running and ruining our lives. Judge, thank you so much for being on. We'll see you next week, and keep up the great work of informing the people of information and knowledge that they have no clue about on the broader scale. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Gerald. All the best to you.
All the best. Bye-bye.